Hello, everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 297. I'm your host, Andrew. Hi. So, Persona 5, still playing it, still enjoying it, when there's actually gameplay. Were I a professional video game reviewer, I've not made it through the entire game yet. I am in August. I don't know how long the game goes, but I'm in August. So if you know how long the game goes, you know where I am. I would have been much more critical than I saw many being. Were I reviewing, hi Chicago, were I reviewing Persona 5 when it came out a couple years ago. There is a lot to praise this game for. However, the game, at least the way I play it, and hey, maybe I'm playing it wrong, but the game is more often than not very, very, very boring. And yet, somehow compelling enough to get me to keep going. So it can't be that bad, I guess. So I don't remember where we left off last time, so we have the game did something really interesting. Is the boss we took care of, instead of finding some mustache-twirling villain and steal their hearts to mend their evil ways, someone with a personal issue approached us and said, "Hey, I want you to steal my heart." So that's a unique spin. That's interesting. That changes things a little bit. That's cool. And the level takes place in a pyramid and a short sojourn to a nearby town. It's pretty cool. And then you beat the pyramid, and it's been like 3 or 4 in-game weeks and nothing has happened. Literally nothing has happened. The person who requested that we steal her heart is taking a nap because it was a mentally taxing thing. She managed to enter the metaverse and explore her own palace. Oh my gosh, what are the implications of this? Fascinating. And then she takes a nap, and it's like she'll probably be out for a couple of days. Couple of days? She's been out for like over 2 weeks. I'm assuming she's going to be out until August 21st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, whenever the actual deadline is. Which means that literally nothing happens in this game for several weeks. And that's the biggest problem I'm having with the game, is between the dungeons, nothing's going on. You just sit around and wait. And there's very, very, very little actual gameplay. You can go to the randomly generated subway dungeon thing, but you might want to stock up a few quests because, one, it's not making good use of your time just to use half a day to go down there for one quest. And two, if you do, you're just going to be done in 5 minutes anyway. But when there's gameplay, it's really good. And I like many of the characters. Some of them I don't like. Seriously, the Persona 5 fans. The kid detective guy, Akechi, something like that. Anybody a fan? No shade if you are, just genuinely curious if anybody likes that character. Like, at all. Personally, I find him utterly insufferable. I can't stand him at all. I don't want to hang out with him. I don't know why we're hanging out with him. He sucks. He's also phenomenally stupid, and I'm not sure, which might work, except I don't think the game understands that this character is genuinely a moron. He's wrong, obviously, easily wrong about everything, and it's annoying. Luckily, you can ignore him if there's a character who rubs you the wrong way. For the most part, you can just, well, don't hang out with them. Yeah, yeah. So one thing the game does that I think is really nice is apparently you can date or become a couple with, seems like only the female characters. I didn't get that option with Ryuji, one of the better characters, but if you rank up your character by your friend character by hanging out with them enough, and seemingly they're female. Oh no, the what's her name? It has a Y in it and some vowels too. The gymnast. For some reason, she only everyone's has 10 ranks, I think, but she maxed out at 5, and I had no option to be a couple. Huh. Okay. I mean, you can't date everybody. Some people are just not that into you, and you have to accept that. But you can date your teacher. Which is a choice. Also, I don't think that storyline is very well written. I talked about this last time, but yeah. So I max ranked the teacher lady. And one thing the game does that I like is it's very clear that depending on what you say leads you down the romance path or the friendship path. So make your choice here, buddy. It's very explicit about that. It's like, watch your words. I appreciate that game. Thank you. Because the worst thing in the world would be picking a dialogue option just trying to be polite. And it's like, we're married now. It's like, whoa, wait, what? No. Well, the teacher is very useful. Every night I call her up and I have her do my laundry or make coffee or curry. For free. And she's happy to do it, too. Oh, I'm not doing anything for her. At all. I'm not paying her. I'm not, even keeping her company. I'm just like, that's right. Make me some curry. Do my laundry. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. Bye. It's a useful utility, but it feels really weird. So I am now friends with, well, I didn't have an option to be anything more with the gymnast or Ryuji, but I politely turned down, or rather did not actively pursue a relationship with my teacher or Anne, because that would have just come out of nowhere. So I have a feeling I'm probably going to get through this game without dating anybody, because, I just don't ship the main character with anybody. It's not that I don't like any of the characters. Yeah, I've got a problem with some. I'm definitely not dating Akechi, or the young child detective dude, whatever his name is. I like some of them. But the player character's just, he has no personality, so I don't know how to ship him with anybody. You know? I mean, some of the characters I like are there's the doctor. She's got great fashion sense, a wonderfully morbid sense of humor. I like her. I like the chess player gal, because she gets super into shogi. I'm sorry, shogi player, not chess player. She gets super into it. She gets all Dragon Ball Z with her shogi moves, and that's amazing. I like that. I'd watch shogi matches if someone did that. If someone went all Super Saiyan, thump, be great. But my character, the protagonist, is just such a wet blanket nobody that I'm not excited to pair him up with anybody. Like I'd ship the student council president and the shogi player before I'd ship either of them with me, because those two have chemistry and a shared common interest. I'm just a blank slate who wanders around and uses his teacher to do his laundry. Um. Still, I'm still giving the game a thumbs up because when it's got an amazing sense of style. Um, it has a ton of really great ideas, even if not all of them are executed as well as they could be. They're still really interesting to think about and very creative. And when the game is actually a game, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy the battling and dungeon crawling aspects. I just wish there was more of it, and I wish that there was more game in the tissue that connects the major dungeons. Let's see. Is she hibernating or in a coma? Is who hibernating or in a coma? Who are we? Does she need to? Who are we talking about? Jared says, yes, a weekly accordance of Andrew ranting about Persona's design. that's right. All right, Atlas, hire me. I'll show you how it's done. It's like, oh, poor Atlas is sitting there. Oh man, if only we would have listened to that one guy, maybe we'd have a 98.5 on Metacritic or what. I have no idea what their score is. I'm sure it's very, very high though. Hey, I criticize from a place of love. Also because a lot of the time playing the game I'm just really, really bored. Not bored enough to hit the start button and just zoom through all the dialogue. But, because a lot of the the social interactions and the various things are fun and interesting and cute. But after a few hours, I'm like, can we get to a dungeon play? Can we get to some gameplay? I think the problem is I'm having an issue with what the game is compared with what I want it to be. If you understand and accept that the game is a cross between an RPG and a visual novel, then and that's okay with you, then I think that the game is an absolute blast, right? But I don't think its characterizations or writing overall are strong enough to support visual novel. So not that I have an issue with visual novels, but if you're gonna go the visual novel route, you better have some damn good writing. Anything else I want to say about Persona 5? The main cast of characters, when they get up to level 10, or at least Anne and Ryuji did, their personas actually changed. They evolved like little Pokemon. And I kind of like the original designs better, but let's see, anything else? There was one You can buy a video game console, and you can play video games with Ryuji. And there was one moment in the cutscene that shows you two playing a video. Oh, you don't get to play it. You don't even get to see the game. You just get to watch the two characters play it. But there is a moment where you have to hammer on the X button. So that's something. Overall, though, still enjoying the game. It, even though I'm bored a lot, I'm still finding it a worthwhile experience. I'll put it that way. Well, it's my first. Jared says it's Andrew's first Persona game, and it's what he's playing, so it makes sense. Once I start playing Persona, I'm sure I'll be looking for others to talk about it with. So I think we're talking about the gymnast gal. Maybe we can date her. I mean, I don't think the option was there, or I just missed it. I don't know. Oh, also another thing, there seems to be a thing where every time you beat a palace, you get a thing, a little prop added to the either your bedroom or the cafe that you live in. When you beat the first one, you get like a little wind chime. When you beat the second one, you got a painting that's hung downstairs in the cafe itself. When you beat the third one, you get a little piggy bank on your windowsill. I beat the fourth one. Did I get anything? I don't know. I've been keeping my eye out. I've been looking around. I don't see anything. Maybe it's very subtle. But that's a fun touch. I like that. Bully, if you remember that game from like 2006, did something similar. Where the further you progress through the game, the more souvenirs Jimmy would collect and decorate his room with. And you'd look around his room and you'd see a jersey hanging on the wall. It's like, oh yeah, it's from beating the football guy. Ah, okay, that's cool. I like that. All right, so that's Persona 5. Still playing it. Still going to play it. In fact, it's actually on right now. It's one of those games that is hard to put down because it's very just one more day kind of a thing. It's like, let me just do an action for this evening, and then I'll call it quit. And then you hit a cutscene, and you're like, all right, let me just get through this cutscene. Okay. Oh, what's his face at the gun shop wants a thing. Well, yeah, right. Let's go see what he's doing. Well, I mean, he'll up my proficiency, so maybe I should go to the fortune teller and have her give me a reading to up my proficiency, and then go back and, it's that kind of thing where it's just, even though I'm bored, it's like, just one more thing, because I know we're gonna get to some gameplay here eventually. Futaba's she has to wake up at some point. I imagine she's probably going to wake up the day of when this counter hits 0 on August 20-something. I think I'm on like 19, 20, so she's gonna be she better be waking up in the next day or two, because I think we've only got like 3 days left until 2 or 3 days left until the hacker group hacks Japan or whatever they're doing. Still not convinced by the wraparound story with the what's her name, the student council president's older sister. I don't mind it. I'm just not clear why it's there. It sets things up, but it doesn't need to. Although, in like June or July, you form a confidant. She becomes a confidant, so she's the Justice? No, that's that dipshit detective kid. What is she? I don't remember what her persona is, but I'm like, oh, is Is that why? That's kind of a tortured path to get there, but, okay. Um, Matthew says, I think Shin Megami Tensei will be your thing if you want a dungeon crawler. Um, just telling him I believe. Jared says, I've seen some of the confession scenes. I believe she is in it, but could be wrong. Well, I actually did, because I save pretty often. I actually did romance both the teacher and just to see what it does. And I didn't play very far through I only played through the rest of that day, so I don't know how things change. If you can, I don't know if you can collect dates or girlfriends like Pokemon or something like that. I don't know if you can, if it's pick one and you're done, or if you can just date all of them, or how that changes any dynamics. Not sure. Not dating my teacher, but I can still order her to do my laundry. Not like that's something I would expect to be able to do with a partner, but oh yeah, and she'll actually not just laundry, not just curry and coffee. She'll come over and give me a massage. Which is very useful because when you get back from a palace or a dungeon, you're done for the day, and if you order a massage from the teacher for free, you can still go out at night and do something else like play shogi with what's-her-face. A little uncomfortable, but but anyway, I reloaded the save and said, no, we're just friends, because it doesn't make any sense that we're any more than that. Because there's no chemistry here. There's no heat. There's no spark. Because I have no personality. There is a harem playthrough? Okay. Momo says, have you done anything different lately, Andrew? You look really handsome today. Aw, thank you. Well, I cut my hair, so there's that. I also, I cut my chin shaving. Like, more than just a nick, I sliced a good old chunk of my chin straight off. And I didn't notice until the following morning. I don't know how. Faces bleed like a son of a gun, so I just was not paying attention. So I got up in the morning, I go into the restroom, look in the mirror, and go, oh my god, I'm missing my chin. But maybe I should replace the blade in my razor. Did I watch anything over the week? Yes. But I can't tell you what it is yet, because it's for a project that, if it works out, won't premiere until October. So, working on something new, and if it works out, that should start airing. It's a YouTube video. It's another series of YouTube videos. I mean, it's. I don't have a show on Disney Plus. I mean, I'm not trying to overhype it. It's just something I'm working on, and hopefully you'll start seeing that in October. So yeah, I did watch something, and we'll actually be watching something else in the next week for the same project. I also did watch Lou, one of our, I haven't seen her in the chat yet, but it is a little late. One of our high dollar patrons, her reward video. If you support me on Patreon for $10 a month for an entire year, I will do a video for you. Lou supported me on Patreon for an entire year. So what video did she ask me to do for me? For her? Me to do for her? She wanted me to react to Eurovision. Because I'm American. I've never seen Eurovision. You know, the most popular music competition thing in the world, been running for multiple decades, but somehow Americans still manage to completely ignore it. I think Americans have probably only ever heard of it thanks to the Will Ferrell movie from a few years ago, and yeah, I haven't even seen the movie. Like that's my only awareness of it. It's like, how is something that huge? That's to me. It's like, what do you mean you've never heard of soccer? Yeah, you know, it's like, how is that possible? So tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so before tomorrow's Sunday stream, will be Andrew Reacts to Eurovision. It's a long one. It's about 70 minutes. If you want to watch, the premiere with me, then wake up a little bit earlier, depending on what side of the world you're on. So that'll be fun. Eurovision is wild. It can be. I mean, I didn't watch every performance from every year. It's been going for multiple decades, but I watched a montage of every winner from every year from 1956 or whenever it started to this year. So that's why it's so long. Cafe Fox says, I still want to watch a Eurovision. Actually, I just uploaded that video, and it was immediately copyright claimed by 7 completely different sources. So, it's clearly fair use. But every time you correct these copyright trolls, you have to essentially write a small book report to explain fair use to them. And since seven different entities copyright claimed my video, I'd have to do that 7 times. And since there's 7 different entities all claiming the same video, I imagine that I don't know if they're all splitting the money or if they're in a deadlock, but I don't know if I have the interest in actually taking the time to dispute that one. It's like, I don't know, folks, fight over it. So silly. Chaos says, do you know what date Extra Life is this year? It's November. I can look that up real quick. Early November. Let's see. November 5th is game day this year. And let me look at my calendar here. Pretty sure that's Saturday, unless they're doing something really weird this year. November 5th. Yeah, so it'll be start at noon on Saturday, noon Pacific Standard Time on Saturday, November 5th. Yeah, that's when it starts. So, and I have my page up, just extralife.org/Andrew Eisen. There's really nothing there. It's a default page right now. I'm still working out donation incentives and what games we'll be playing and things like that. So I haven't customized the page yet, but I mean, if you want to get those donations in early, you're most welcome to, or bookmark the page, or do whatever you like. But yes, we will be doing the Extra Life charity event again this year. We're going to be, last year's goal was 2,000, and we blew through that and ended up raising, I think, 2,600. So this year we're shooting for 3,000. Woo. All right. Next topic. Say, did you know that the San Diego Comic-Con was this week? It was. You might have heard. You might not have. Warner Brothers clearly didn't. It's a shame that Warner Brothers couldn't go to the San Diego Comic-Con this year. You know, its lack of presence was felt most acutely. I jest. Warner was there, but let's see what here. Okay, so I looked at several different recaps of the Warner panel, and they showed the trailer, a new trailer rather, for Black Adam. Looks like it could be fun. They showed a trailer for the new Shazam movie. Looks like it could be fun. Really like the first movie, so I'm sure the second movie will be great. And that was it. Unless there is a hefty embargo on anything else they mentioned, every recap is just Black Adam and uh, Shazam 2, and that's it. Huh. What about Aquaman 2? Nope. Flashpoint? You've been working on that for a couple of years. You got anything you want to share about Flashpoint? No. How about the Batman? Surely you're doing a sequel to the Batman, right? Because you like teased the Joker so hard that you like released a deleted scene about the Joker like the week the movie came out, which was kind of weird, but whatever. No. The Batman TV show, I mean, the movie was kind of odd because it was like a 17-act structure, so maybe it would be better as a limited series on HBO Max. How about that? No. Batgirl? No. Okay, it's not superheroes, but Dune 2? Where's the second half of that? No. So just Black Adam and Shazam 2. Okay. You're losing, DC. I'm sorry. Later today, they released a trailer for the animated Bat Cars, or what the hell is it called? Let me look real quick. Bat Wheels, which is the Disney Cars movies. Exactly that, except with the Batmobile and Batgirl's motorcycle and Robin's car. It's got a pretty kick-ass theme song. Could be cute. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not aimed at me, but they didn't show that off at the panel. Again, I don't know if everyone is sworn to absolute secrecy about anything else, or that was a very, very short panel. Yep, Disney revealed a ton of MCU stuff. Disney had so much Marvel crap, Marvel stuff. I like Marvel stuff. Just an avalanche of Marvel stuff. They had so much that I think Thursday night or Friday, they had a specific Marvel animated panel. They had so much to show that we're like, you know what? We'll just shunt off all our animation stuff specifically into its own panel. We have so much. See, and I tweeted about this, but when Nintendo doesn't have enough for a full show, they don't do a full show. Maybe you should be like Nintendo, Warner Brothers, because this has to be humiliating for you. Don't get me wrong, I hope Black Adam and Shazam 2 are great. I'm highly confident that Shazam 2 will be great, and Black Adam could go either way. I mean, it could be really badass, or it could be really stupid. Really hard to tell from the trailer, but there you go. So, before we get to Disney, here's a list of some of the trailers that came out. The only interesting about so Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. It looks better than the Dungeons and Dragons movie with who was in it? Justin Whalen and Marlon Wayans from like 20 years ago. Jeremy Irons too. I mean, maybe as a D&D fan, you might be thinking something a little bit more serious-minded, like Lord of the Rings, and this is a bit more Guardians of the Galaxy in its irreverence and humor. But could be fun. got Chris Pine in it. He's fun. So it's got a really cool looking mimic in it. So it's got a woman who turns into like an eagle bear and punches things. So it could be a lot of fun. Lord of Rings, The Rings of Power. Who knows? That's going to come down to, is the story any good? It certainly looks nice. Especially for a, serialized television miniseries thing. Makeup looks good, costumes look good, sets and effects look good, performances look dramatic and earnest. It's really going to come down. I'll give it a watch. We'll see. It's going to come down to, is the story any interesting at all? The Walking Dead. I don't care, so I didn't watch the trailer. Tales of the Walking Dead. Still don't care, so I didn't watch the trailer. I Am Groot. That comes out in August sometime. It's 5 shorts. Looks cute. Teen Wolf, the movie. Apparently there's a Teen Wolf, the television show, and this is a movie based on the show. I've not watched the show, so I have no interest in the movie, and I didn't watch the trailer. But it's a thing. A thing you can watch. For a nominal fee. National Treasure, Edge of History. A new series on Disney+. I did watch the trailer. Looks like it could be cute. I don't have any interest in it. Didn't have any interest in the National Treasure movies either. I didn't see either of them. So, hope it's good for National Treasure fans. The Dragon Prince, Season 4 after a few years is finally coming out, so I'm excited about that. Dragon Ball Superhero. Dragon Ball Super, Superhero. That's a shit title. I hope it's shit on purpose. If that's intentional, that's pretty funny. If not, oh man. But I don't like Dragon Ball, so I don't care. I didn't watch it. John Wick 4. I've liked all 3 John Wick movies. This looks like more of the same, and that makes me happy. Shazam I talked about, looks cool. Black Adam talked about, looks like it go either way. Star Trek Picard has a bunch of Next Generation cast members in it, so if you're nostalgic for that show, hey, bask in the nostalgia. Star Trek Lower Decks Season 3. Looks okay. I haven't watched any of it, and apparently it's crossing over with Star Trek Strange New Worlds, is that what it's called? Which is live action, which is weird. I guess they're just going to have the voice actors play the role. I don't know what they're doing, but hey, if you're fans of the show, great. Bat Wheels, I already talked about that, got a cool theme song. The Sandman, I should really read that at some point. I've enjoyed what I've read of Neil Gaiman's stuff, and I hear Sandman's great. I don't know what to... I've seen a couple trailers for this now, and I don't know what to make of it. It feels like something I'd have to know what I'm looking at to really get excited for it. For now, it's just like, it's kind of like Lord of the Rings. It's just stuff. It's pretty stuff, but it's just stuff. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. I don't know who any of these people are or what they're trying to do. That person has wings. Neat. I think that's Gwendolyn Christie. She played Captain Phasma in the Star Wars movies. A completely underutilized character. But I hear she's on Game of Thrones, too. A cultural juggernaut! With an ending so poor, apparently, that it was erased from the collective consciousness of the culture. Seriously, I have never, for several years in a row, for like 7-8 years, Game of Thrones was the television event. And then the finale hit, and no one ever spoke of it again. Now, I've never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones. I have not read the books, so I don't know. I just found it kind of interesting. What was I talking about? How did I get to Game of Thrones? Oh, because Gwendolyn Christie, I think, is in the Sandman trailer. And she's got wings, so I guess she can fly. And if I'd read the book, I'd probably be excited. Oh, it's the gal with the wings! Whee! You know, but so I should. I'm pretty sure my library has it, so I should probably check out Sandman at some point. Although it's really, really long. It's not just one book. I think it's a whole series of graphic novels, if I'm not mistaken. Mythic Quest Season 3. I didn't see any of the first... I haven't seen any of it, so I don't care. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. This dropped... Marvel happened like 2 hours ago. Or 3 hours ago. 2 hours and 43 minutes ago. And this was one of the metric butt tons of things that they unleashed. And so they unleashed the new trailer for She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. And I have to say, it appears to be everything I wanted in a She-Hulk show. Jokes? Yep. Are they consistently funny? Well, we'll have to wait for the show, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Fourth wall breaks? Yeah. That's in there too. Cool. Lawyer shenanigans? Appear so. Yep. Lots of famous and obscure cameos from other characters in the Marvel Universe? Appears to be so, yeah. So, yeah, I dig it. I'm looking forward to She-Hulk. It's been one of my most anticipated projects for a long time, which is kind of weird because I love the idea of She-Hulk more than I've actually enjoyed any of the books. You know, She-Hulk broadly tends to be some really cool ideas that just aren't executed that well. You know? Oh, and we might be curious. It's like, okay, it's been 3 months. How are the effects coming? Quite well, thank you for asking. They are much improved over how they looked back in May or whenever the last trailer came out. Are they perfect? Nope. And shot to shot, still a bit uneven. Some shots look pretty great. Some shots not so great, but overall much better effects to the point where for a television show it looks like they're not going to be distracting at all. So cool. Yeah, looking forward to that. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Looks cool. It's got Namor in it, so that's neat. Don't recognize the dude playing Namor. Don't think I've ever seen him before. Looks like they're killing off Shuri really early. Because Ramada, what's the queen's name? Middle of the trailer, she's, I am the queen of the most powerful nation on earth, and I have lost my entire family. I've given up I've paid everything, or something like that. I'm like, oh, they're killing Shuri early. Well, can't say I'm surprised. The actor who portrays her is a talented actor, but not a good person, unfortunately. Shame there's so many of those. But we got a quick look at Riri Williams, too. Ironheart. She's got her own show coming out sometime. So neat. And yeah, that's most of the trailers and stuff. Let's see. Matthew says, looks very Monty Python, which, hot take, is the correct way to handle Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if I'd go Monty Python, but it's definitely not very serious. You know, it does come across as a campaign a bunch of friends would who are just having a fun time and not taking it too terribly seriously would get together and do, just throwing everything out there because it's fun. We'll see how it maybe tonally it won't work, maybe it will. You have to see the movie, but I like the design of the mimic, and I like the bear owl thing that punches people. Chris Pine is always fun, so what's her name? Something Rodriguez. What is her name? She was in the first Resident Evil movie. Shoot. What is her name? Stand by while I IMDb stuff. Da da da. Da da da. Da 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 da. 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 There we go. Michelle Rodriguez. There we go. You know, very uncommon name. It's hard to keep in your mind. Michelle. It's one of those obscure names that hardly ever comes up. So it's hard to dredge up from the depths of one's memory. You see, Michelle. Who's ever heard of anyone named Michelle? So, did I see the tweet you made? Trailer for a I don't think so. Is it a tweet that you tweeted at me, or that you responded to something I said? Because I don't have any notifications. Of course, that doesn't mean you didn't. Well, if you sent it at me or responded to something, I don't see it, so no. Or if it's just something you made, a tweet you put on your own timeline, I didn't see it, sorry. Chaos asks, have I seen The Boys? I saw the first 2 seasons of The Boys, and quite liked them. Did I read any of the book? No, I don't think I've read any of the book. I'd like to watch season 3. Just haven't got around to it. Been working on other stuff, so I think the problem was that I think they released like the first 3 episodes of The Boys at when they premiered season 3, and I was like, oh, I should watch this. And I saw all 3 episodes, and they're all an hour long, and I'm like, I don't have time. And now there's 8 episodes out, and I'm like, so I'll watch it at some point. I liked a lot of The Boys. Not a perfect show, but a lot of really good stuff in that show, I thought. Matthew says, like a Dungeons & Dragon movie has to be a semi-comedy because getting critical fails, rolling a 1, is very much a part of D&D. Oh, absolutely. There's good, you know, someone's got a critical miss at some point. I think I had a campaign once. I haven't played D&D since I was really young, and I was never in a campaign of more than 2 people. It was just me and the Dungeon Masters, just me and my friend Ricky playing D&D, and we were really young, so we didn't know what we were doing. I swear to God, I rolled a 1 3 times in a row. I mean, to Ricky, my DM's credit, he didn't just say, okay, you're just dead. You know, I forget what the hell I was doing. I don't even remember the context. I just remember that somehow I rolled a 1 3 times in a row, which is like, that should never happen. It's like, okay, I'm going to search for traps. Roll a 1. Normally that would be not only do you not find any traps, you spring a trap. It's like, okay, yeah, you definitely don't find any. Okay, then you fall into a trap. Okay, well, I'm going to try and disarm it. Roll a 1. Okay, you spring the trap and you're now stuck in the trap. Okay, I'm going to try and get out of the trap. All right, rolled another 1. You pull your leg out of the trap and fall into another one. It's like, God damn it. Of course, this was back in the days. I mean, we were in the single-digit ages, I think. We were probably, well, maybe not that young. We were probably like 12 or something. But I think like one of the first campaigns, some god came down and gave me a magical slice of pizza that gave me strength, I kid you not, 99, because we didn't know what the hell we were doing. Ricky also made sure that he got all the jelly bean colors that he wanted, because he's like, I find the earth opens up and swallows your ass, you know. Dungeons and Dragons is fun. Alright. It was an YouTube, or rather Twitter. Stop being crap. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to re-look at Twitter and see where the hell that went. 1 in 8,000 chance for rolling a 20-sided die and getting the same number 3 times in a row. Yeah, that's I mean, if we were older, like if we were well into our teens or adults at that point, any serious, not unfun, but any serious game of Dungeons and Dragons, in any circumstance, you roll 3 ones in a row, your character's dead. I'd accept that. I'd be proud of that. I'd be telling that story to the, yeah, you're damn right, my character died, and this is how it happened. Unfortunately, I was like 11 or 12 at the time, and I honestly do not remember what the circumstances behind 3 critical misses in a row was, but I just remember that happened, and I don't remember it's a shame. It's probably not as amusing as anything you conjure up in your own mind. So, all right. So, what have we got from Marvel? Well, we've got Marvel Zombies, which apparently is getting its own bespoke show. It's not going to be just an episode of What If, which has season 2 coming. Maybe we get that Gamora episode, hopefully. And there's going to be, and that's, I think, early next year, and then there's going to be a season 3. X-Men X-Men 97 is coming out, I think, next year or something like that, and there's already a season 2 of that, and the characters look the same except for Storm has a different haircut, and Magneto has a different outfit because he's leading the X-Men now, because in the X-Men show it ends with Xavier just pissing off into outer space somewhere because he's dying or something. Isn't he with... What's her name? Shiara? I haven't seen it since the 90s. My memory's not that clear anymore. Of course, I don't remember much of what I had for breakfast either, so... Spider-Man is getting a cartoon called Freshman Year. That's going to have a season 2 called Sophomore Year, which I kind of like, because that implies that the character is going to keep aging and eventually age out of college and maybe become an adult, which is nice because the worst Spider-Man stories are the ones that either refuse to journey away from the status quo or stubbornly retreat back to it. Some of the most maligned Spider-Man stories are one of those two, right? Oh no, Peter can't be a family man, we've got to erase their marriage or something. Everyone hated that. Wasn't a good story either. Anyway, so possible fun stuff. They seem to be going a real, at least for the concept design, they seem to be going very comic book page aesthetic, which, fine. Let's see what else. Oh, they showed off a little bit of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. We got to see a little scene of that, and it's I'm not the target audience, but I think it looks good. Clearly they don't have the highest animation budget, but aesthetically I'm really digging that super saturated, high contrast aesthetic. The writing and the voice work is on point. The jokes are landing, at least the ones that were in the clip that I saw. So, Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur looks pretty cool. I'll definitely check out an episode or two. Probably not going to watch the whole thing because it's not aimed at me. It skews younger, but maybe it'll be great, and maybe even though its target audience is someone younger than me, maybe it's a very enjoyable by all ages show. Who knows? We'll see. So that's the animation stuff. So Lots of Phase 5 and Phase 6 movies and TV stuff that they talked about. Ant-Man and the Marvels, and they're going to be doing something with Kang the Conqueror and Fantastic Four, and MODOK's going to be in one of them. What else? Oh, they introduced the dude who's going to be playing the oh god, I forgot. High Eternal, High Evolutionary, who is he's Dr. Moreau, right? He basically just doesn't think organic beings are good the way they are, so he gene splices them to make them better, right? He force evolves Pokemon into the forms that he deems more aesthetically pleasing. So I think he's going to be the main. If I'm remembering right, I think he's going to be Guardians. It'd be the villain in Guardians 3. We got Secret Wars. We got, or I'm sorry, no, we probably do have Secret Wars, but the one I was thinking about was Secret Invasion. Armored Wars, I think. There was a screenshot of Don Cheadle in the War Machine armor, which has bulked up something fierce. Oh, speaking of bulk, slight criticism possibly for She-Hulk. I'd have gone bulkier with the character design. That's just me. On the other hand, I mean, she's not exactly lithe, but she's not exactly hulking either. She's more just solid, athletic, right? However, it may be the case that they are keeping her not particularly bulky to give her room to grow if she goes full Savage She-Hulk at some point. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. Pardon me. Goodness. What else was going on? And let me do a quick scroll and see if I got anything here. Someone, that would be Warner. The Tiny Toon Adventures is coming back. I think we've seen a couple pieces of key art from it. I don't know if that was. I don't think that's part of a presentation. I think I've just seen people working on the show, like showing off concept art on Twitter. Now, clearly, that would have been approved to allow them to do that, but why aren't you? I don't know where that originated. Let me see if I can find something. The woman who played the co-lead in Borat 2 a couple of years ago, she's doing the voice of Cosmo the Space Dog. So that's neat. Yeah, so Phase 6 is going to end with Avengers Secret Wars. Okay. So that's neat. Yeah, I do not know how to pronounce the guy's name who's playing High Evolutionary. Chukwudi Iwuji? That's a super cool name. I hope I'm getting it close. Blade's coming out at some point. I know I saw a thing somewhere. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Let's see. This is a picture of the screen. So we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Secret Invasion, which is going to be the Netflix, not Netflix, a Disney Plus show. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Echo, which is a show, Loki Season 2, Marvels, which is going to be, Kamala and Carol and Monica. So that's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to that. Blade, really interested to see what they do with that. Ironheart, Agatha, House of something, it's hard to read, but Agatha from the WandaVision's getting her own show. We've known about that for a while. I see Daredevil in there. I can't read what the subtitle is, but it's something Daredevil. I don't know if that's a show or if that's a movie. Captain America, I think it says New World Order. And Thunderbolts. So, got lots of interesting stuff coming. Let's see. Yeah, that should be about it. That's enough. So, lots of cool stuff. Yeah, Cafe Fox says Tiny Toons is coming back. Nice. Yeah. I never liked Tiny Toons. Yeah, I know, heretic. I never disliked Tiny Toons. I was very Tiny Toons ambivalent, I guess. It just didn't hook me for whatever reason. Certainly do not begrudge another Tiny Toons, but yeah, can't say it's anything that really appeals to me. The dice were crooked, says Chicago. The only thing interesting in Phase 5 is Secret War. Well, more than that interests me, but I'm glad at least one thing interests you. That's better than zero. So, interestingly, Phase 4 ends with Black Panther 2. So She-Hulk is next month, and then Wakanda Forever is, I think, November. And that's the end of Phase 4. And Phase 5 starts with Ant-Man Quantumania in February, I think. And that starts off Phase 5. And then they're going to do Phase 6 and have all kinds of multiverse shenanigans with Kang the Conqueror and then Secret Wars. So, be interesting to see how that's adapted from the comics, because I mean, clearly it's not going to be exactly as it was in the comics, and of course all this stuff is subject to change. Some of it may be they may be lying about some of this stuff. Years ago, there was they announced Captain America: The Serpent Society, and that was just them trolling. Turned out to be Civil War, I think. Which was also quite different from how it was in the books. So, you know, some of this stuff might not be exactly right. Was there an Eternals 2 announced? I don't know. I think what I'm thinking of, I think they trademarked something for Eternals 2. I think I saw that a couple days ago, but let's see. Chicago Spider-Man, The Senior Years. Spidey versus Social Security Man. Spidey needs his security check. Yeah, that's actually not bad. You know, Spider-Man, the freshman year, sophomore year, junior, senior year, and then keeps going and it culminates in the senior years. I'm gonna get you, Rhino. Whip. All right, so another wonderful Comic-Con enjoyed from the comfort and safety from my own home. The way Comic-Con was intended to be enjoyed. So, I hope you all had a fun and safe Comic-Con too, and that's it for the show tonight. As I said, we're doing a Patreon reward video tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I react to Eurovision. This is Lou's Patreon reward video, so if you have time, it's 70 minutes long, so be aware, it's a long one. If you have time, drop by and watch the premiere with me. Lou should be there too. And then at noon Pacific Standard Time, we'll have our Sunday stream, and we'll play some more Trails in the Sky the 3rd. So, hope you're looking forward to that, and until then, friends, have a good night. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. And need to move my water because I can't see the stop record button or stop stream button. There it is. All right. Good night, everyone.